Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome everybody to Welcome everybody to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Kush. We are here tonight to get our Coke on. That is exactly right. In the fall of Fizz, it would have been impossible to not land on a Coca-Cola landmine, and that is what we are doing tonight. We are absolutely jumping. Let's do that again. Get a close-up of the little jumping man. We are absolutely jumping right in. We are going to talk about drinks with Coca-Cola in them. Now, does that mean we're only making Coca-Cola highballs? No. Will some of these be similar to Coca-Cola highballs? Yes, they will absolutely be that. But, fret not. Some of these are pretty fun. So we're going to be using some interesting ingredients. I think, personally, that's why we picked these drinks. Listen to this.
Goodbye.
Soundboard's working again, so that's pretty good. We are going to be just sort of discussing the role of Coca-Cola, not Pepsi. Not Pepsi. The role of Coca-Cola in cocktails, etc., therefore, and for on, and there, thus, whence we went, upon the thing upon which we have thus been. Let me say hello to the people. I didn't get all of your chats on the little thing so I can put them up, but I will read some of them that were here earlier. Let's just say hello over here to our good friend, Amy Beer. Good evening. Guess I should have waited to make my bourbon and Coke. You go ahead. Go right ahead. We're not making bourbon and Diet Coke, so you are good to go. Greetings to our good friend Moose, who the whole cocktail bar, etc. Let's see, what else do we got? We got Shiny Panda Baker. Good evening. Tinkering with a new recipe for Thanksgiving. That'll be a lot of fun. Dougie G is in here. Howdy y'all. To you, my friend. Aloha to a number of people, and then I think we're all caught up. Okay, now here we go. Hello, Tiki Tom Hubbard, and everybody else. Tiki Tom, yours was the first one I saw, so technically yours is the first one in there. Thank you for Tiki Tom. Kyle is here. It is Saturday, Cushies. Just a declarative sentence said very excitedly, so I appreciate that. I guess Source is here. Hello, Source. Our old friend Source. Does Source remember Cozy Mom? I think Source was there for Cozy Mom. Source, Cozy Mom is back with a very ominous name now. I think her name is now I Am, which I believe, I'm not a biblical scholar or anything. I do believe that God calls himself I Am. So who knows what kind of power Cozy Mom has gotten in the time she's been away from the show. That is not to say that all of you should take time away from the show and go gain your powers. This show will also give you powers, like the ability to talk to your mom. Let me say hello to Steph and Michael, husband, winners of the 2024 Kush Tiki Derby, and proprietors of Husband Honey. Cocktail Lulu is here. Hello, Cocktail Lulu. Cheers to you. How's the world's best bar back? How would Kyle know? What are you gonna call Fergus? I don't even think Kyle has Fergus's number. Just found out Fergus got fired. Sorry, Ferg. Sean, I love a good Cowboy Mouth show. I love Cowboy Mouth too. Jenny says, turn off the radio. One of my very favorites karaoke songs. Jenny says, turn out the lights. Jenny says, turn out the video. Hello, Roger. Happy Saturday, everyone. Good to see you, Roger. Always a pleasure, never a chore. There we go. No Pepsi. That's correct. Tiki Tom Hubbard. We will not be dealing in Pepsi today, even a little bit. No, in fact, we went out. We even got the good stuff. We went out and got the Mexican Coca-Cola. Why is this Mexican Coca-Cola? Made in Mexico. That's it. Hecho in Mexico, I believe, is the correct term for it. I believe that the other thing about it is it has real sugar. None of that corn syrup stuff. I don't know if you guys know me, but if you've ever listened to me talk for more than 15 minutes and you got past the times I lived in Europe, I will let you know I'm not a fan of corn syrup. I think that is the reason that I can't stop eating. So this is a real sugar stuff. Is it great for you? No. But is it corn syrup? It is not. It does contain a little caffeine, and it is real Coca-Cola. Not the real stuff. Shall I tell you a little bit about this Coca-Cola? It was created by a guy named Pemberton. Right? Pemberton. He took two things that he thought would help everybody out. Cola nut, which has a lot of caffeine, and coca, which I'm not sure that counts as caffeine. That counts as something else. That is a different thing that'll wake you right up. Some people call it, I've had people call it Colombian marching powder. I've had people call it the white. I know a lot of people that call it the sober. I don't think that those people are living their lives all that right. Some people just call this guy I knew named Mike. It would show up. Anyway, it was cocaine. It was absolutely cocaine, and people wonder why this stuff was so freaking good. Cocaine. So it would get people up and running around, sort of like, I don't know, slap in the face and a little bit of coffee. So of course, when this thing, which was, and it was seen as a medical, like as a tonic, as like a wonder tonic to help you out, to help you be a better person, have a little cola nut, a little caffeine, and have a little cocaine, 4 or 5 steps up from caffeine, and whatever was ailing you before, not going to ail you anymore. Well, what do you need? What do you need when that's going on? I'll wait. Something to bring you back down. That's exactly right. So what brings you back down? What is a depressant that we all love? If we think about it, booze is basically Eeyore. It's a depressant that we all love, that we all want to bring around, even when we're going to the parties. Oh, where's my friend Eeyore? I wish Eeyore was here. I know he's a depressed little guy. I know he's going to bring me down, make me sleepy, make me sad, make me think things, make me call exes. Okay, that wasn't part of the real Eeyore situation. It's a depressant that we love to party with. So why not add the two things together? The first cocktail we ever saw that was written in at all about mixing in with Coca-Cola. Anybody want to take a guess? I'm going to give you guys a second to guess. We're just going to sit here. You know what? I wonder if I have it. No, I do. Did I lose the chat? I might have lost the chat. Anybody writing? No? Okay. Oh, okay. Why you Nobody wants to write. Okay, anyway, the first ever liquor ever written about with Coca-Cola was whiskey. Absolutely. The Jack and Coke is a very, very real and old thing. Yes, did I love them in college? I certainly did love them in college. Do I like a Jack and Coke now? Yes, I love a Jack and Coke now still. Anyway, we're not going to be making a Jack and Coke. In fact, we are not doing any kind of whiskey today. The 3 liquors that we will be using are vodka, rum, and this is a fun one, gin. Gin and Coca-Cola. So get your, pull up your socks as intellectual spinach, and we're going to get in there. Let me just make sure that definitely the chat is working. I feel like maybe it's not. Oh, is Dr. Pepper, I guess it is. Is Dr. Pepper a viable substitution? It's viable. It's not going to kill you. It's viable. I think you'll be good. Okay. Let's get into it. All right. So the first cocktail that we are going to be making today is called Rocky Mountain Root Beer. Okay, we could, if you wanted to, if you were going to be like that, you could absolutely just drink some vodka and root beer. That would also be just fine. That would be just fine. Are we doing a Long Island iced tea? We are not doing a Long Island iced tea. Don't worry about it. If you wanted to with this cocktail, you could just put vodka and root beer into it and you would have a root beer. But that is not what we want to do. Instead, we are going to be combining extra flavors in order to get that sarsaparilla flavor, that sarsaparilla taste, and the bitter deliciousness of Mexican Coke. So let's get to it. I have a bottle of vodka that I've been looking to use for a while. Here it is. This was a gift. Does anybody want to take a guess where this gift came from? Just kidding. This was a gift from our good friend, Paul. Why am I giggling a little bit? Yes, it was from Paul. It was from Paul. Paul, for my birthday, got me a bottle of uncoated Mediterranean select vodka distilled in Spain. Wow, Paul. He deserves a wow.
Wow.
Wow. So we're going to be using some of Paul's vodka. Why? It's the only vodka I have. Oh. Oh. It smells perfect. Why? It doesn't smell at all. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for non-smelly vodka. It's a very simple drink. I guess we got to crack this open at some point. Oh, dang it. That would have been much cooler if I hit the right camera. Can't even see it there. Ah, it's a better camera. All right, let's try this again. Too busy staring myself in the eye. All right, we got our Coca-Cola open. Cannot shut this now. We're just going to be building this one in glass. Don't worry about shaking this guy. Like a lot of highballs, this is really just a highball. A highball, should we go over what a highball is really quickly as we can? A highball is a combination of soda water and a liquor. Soda water and a liquor. Now, what happens if you start flavoring that soda water? Still a highball? Just kidding. Okay, still a highball? Yes, still a highball. So technically a ginger, whiskey ginger, still a highball. This is ginger ale. I feel like ginger beer might be something different. I don't know all the rules. You want to do some whiskey Sprite? I love whiskey Sprite. I don't like caffeine, so whiskey Sprite, perfect for me. That's a highball. We are basically making a highball today, a vodka highball. And in that, instead of the soda water, we're going to be using flavored soda water. Hold on. Just last me the rest of the show. We're going to go ahead and put in our vodka. We're going to start over here with 1.5 ounces of some vodka. Bing, bing. This is a fun fact. Do you know why I just said bing? Probably none of you do. You know why? Because I think I'm the only person in the world that knows this. And now we're about to have 11 other people. Are there only 11 people here? Uh-oh. 11 other people know this. Every time I change the scene, it dings in my ear. Ding, 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 ding. So now every time I change the scene, like Pavlovian, like Pavlov's dog, I hear ding, 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 ding. I don't know if that's interesting or not. I don't think that probably is. It's all right. I got a lot to say and not a lot of time to say it. We're going to get into this guy next. This is Galliano. Galliano is a hilarious liquor. Why is it hilarious? Stupid bottle. Very, very stupid bottle. A tall bottle. Look how tall this is. Very skinny bottle. Very, very stupid. This bottle. Oh, Insta looks great. Should we say hi to the Insta people? 1 second. Let's just say hi to the Insta people. 4 people. Hello, people on Instagram. My name is Dr. Kush, and I am here at Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. If you would like to be part of what we're doing, chatting, having fun at bars, doing the thing, pop on over to youtube.com and see us over there. Thank you, Instagram people. We'll see you soon. Okay. This is Galliano La Autentico. There are a few different versions of Galliano. This is La Autentico. There's also a red one, and there's a brown one. The red one is more like an Italian red bitter, and the brown one is coffee. It's the espresso liqueur. But this is the real stuff. If you don't have Galliano, you can. They're not the exact same thing. It's like saying you can switch out Fernet Branca with Fernet Valette. They aren't the same thing. They're the same idea. You can switch this out for Strega. If you don't have Strega, what are you doing? I mean, what kind of bar doesn't have Strega? You don't have the witch? You do not have the witch in your bar? It is time to get the witch, my friend. When I did my punch class, I said, this is for people that only have 10 bottles in their bar. And none of you guys laughed at that. You were like, yeah, 10 bottles, that's a normal number of bottle. Everybody else on earth wrote me, they're like, did you mean to put like one bottle? What do you mean 10? But who has 10 bottles in their bar? I do. We only need a 1/4 ounce of this Galliano or any other type of yellow anise forward liquor like the witch, like Strega, etc. 1/4 ounce of this stuff. If you're afraid, I think it's called urophobia. If you're afraid of things that look like pee, I would not recommend ever getting Strega or Galliano. They are the two most pee-looking liquors of all time, and it's, for whatever reason, the more you add to them, the more clear liquid you add to them, the more they look like pee. If you add Strega and vodka, Strega and white gin, Strega and all that stuff together, got Galliano and all that stuff together, it just looks more and more like pee. Disturbing, I think. All right, we're going to grab this guy right here, fill it with some ice. Normally, I don't like pouring over ice. We've talked about this. We want to put in the ice at the very last minute, but because we are highballing this, we're going to highball this, so we're going to water this down anyway. A little extra water from the ice isn't going to kill you. And you want to get the right amount for the glass. This is like a puddle. It is meant to fill with the amount of water that it is there for. Is that a thing? Can I say that? Does that make any sense? It doesn't matter if it makes any sense. We're looking for about 4 ounces, which is why we're serving this low ball. If we have 2 ounces there plus some ice, that should give us around 4 ounces to work with. So we're going to be putting in about 4 ounces of some Coca-Cola. This is going to take that pea color right away. There we go. Doing great. One last bit that this is optional. It's optional. You're making a Rocky Mountain root beer. This is optional. But it does improve the root beer flavor for it. You want to find some bitters. What kind of bitters? Underberg. Underberg. It is a very cheap, very easy to source set of bitters. Probably a little less easy to source than, say, Angostura, but I would say you can find Underberg nowadays at more places than Peychauds. How do will somebody from Louisiana please help me? Peychauds. I've always said Peychauds. Will you guys just give me that one? Peychauds. It's called Peychauds. I think that Underberg is very simple to find these days. It is more of a replacement for Peychauds than it is for Angostura. It has that aniseness for it. We are looking for anisity in this. We're going to be putting just a couple dashes of this. There is no, if we all look right there. Oh, look at that shot. Oh, look at the depth of field. Oh, blurry back here. You guys know what this is called when it's blurry back here? It's called bokeh. How do you spell it? B-O-K-E-H. Bokeh. Peychaud. Peychaud. There's a U in there. Peychaud. I asked you guys to give it to me. Nobody would give it to me. We're just going to put a couple dashes. Look at this guy right up here. There is no topper on these. It is too cheap to be putting any topper. So be very careful with how you're dropping this one. We're going to just put a drop or two right there on top. This stuff is just like bitters. It is very strong, etc. We're going to be a gentleman. Give this a stir. Peychaud's is how Frank pronounced it, if I remember correctly. Frank said, yeah, Frank, the low-carb cocktail guy. Peychaud. I've always just thought A-U-D. H-A-U-D-S. Oh. Got it. Everybody's always complaining about how hard English is to learn. Frickin' French, man. That's a tough one. This is it, guys. Very, very simple highball. We did serve it in a low ball, which is confusing. A highball glass should usually serve, you should usually serve highballs in highball glasses, which are, of course, long. We're tiki people. We know highball glasses as zombie glasses. You should usually serve those in those. But for this one in particular, this is a low ball highball. All right. Nice and low. Drink it fast enough so that all the bubbles don't get out, and you should be good. Give it a little sip. Hopefully, if you've made this correctly, if you had the right glass, this should end up tasting very much like a root beer. It tastes, let me say, it tastes like a root beer that a child would hate, but an adult will find the complexity. They'll say, if you got served, if you went into a restaurant and you said, give me a little sarsaparilla, I'll take a root beer, sir, I'm driving. And somebody hands you one of these, you would say, first of all, you would think, ooh, this doesn't taste like any root beer I've ever tasted. But then you'd say, oh, actually, I do taste a lot of the stuff. And then you would think, oh my gosh, how much did this just cost me? Was this crafted by some mustachioed men in the middle of the Arts District? This seems like it's going to be expensive. This is what this tastes like. Very expensive tasting root beer with some vodka in it. Nice and easy. Bon Bon is off to see Legally Blonde the musical. Oh my God, you guys. Is it the singing that's making those lights go? Don't love that. All right, there we go. Yes, have fun, Bon Bon. Bye and peace out to all of you. All right, we got this going. This is a cocktail. Oh, Kyle, do you want this cocktail? Kyle, you want this? I'm gonna leave that there. Let's see if we can't fix this light real quick. Otherwise, we're gonna have to turn it off because I can't be giving people seizures. There we go. Why are you sneaking in here? Everybody knows that you're trying to sneak up on me. I turned my back for half a second. Are you punching me? Take the cocktail, do your job, and get out of here. It's insane. Insane. This Kyle. What face is that? All right. See you later, buddy. All right. Always a pleasure, as they say. Never a chore. Kyle came in on a hot one, apparently, and we're going to keep going. All right. Let's get into this next cocktail. This next cocktail is called the Attitude Adjuster. Okay. This is going to be a cocktail similar to a panty dropper. Everybody have... Oh, yes. Kyle, they're going to want your rating on that. So Kyle was in no state this last time to give us a rating. Kyle, will you let us know if you love, like, or hate that cocktail? I don't know what Kyle's feelings are on expensive root beer, but if he loves it, this should be a great cocktail for him. This next one is called the Attitude Adjuster. Now, are there thousands of cocktails called the Attitude Adjuster? Yes. Where did we find this one? We found it on a website called Difford's. Normally, when I find a cocktail called the Panty Dropper, the hot stuff, oh, he likes it. Not a big fan. All right. Usually when I find cocktails on you know, when I find a cocktail called the Attitude Adjuster on a different website, I would say this is just somebody, they sort of have an idea of what a cocktail is, and then they thought that this was a fun way to name a cocktail. You know, when their dudes get together, they're like, "Oh, bro, Chad's feeling down, man. We need an attitude adjuster." And then it's, you know, jungle juice. It's a Hawaiian punch, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and Everclear, and they call that the attitude adjuster. And whilst that will adjust your attitude, I don't think that that's what we're talking about with this one. But when Simon Difford writes about a cocktail, I can take note. There are a number of people, like the Tiki Boys. If they created a cocktail, it's tiki. I don't care what it's got in it. It got motor oil in it. Okay, well, it's the Vespa. It's the Tiki Vespa or whatever. If Simon Difford writes about a stupid cocktail name and makes the cocktail work, we will go with it. So this is from Difford's. I thought it sounded interesting because nowhere else could I find a Coca-Cola drink that had gin in it. And so that's what we're doing today. We're going to be making a Coca-Cola cocktail with gin in it. And this one is called the Attitude Adjuster. So if, like Kyle, you need your attitude adjusted right now, you need to come in here and be serious next time. I don't want to see that goofy face doing all that stuff. Then you can make this guy. Now, we're going to be shaking this cocktail and adding our Coca-Cola at the end. There are a lot of ingredients in here, a lot of different ingredients that have different specific gravities, and we can use a little bit of water in here, no big deal. Let's go ahead and grab our gin. The gin we'll be using tonight is, of course, Brando gin. We will use other gins in the future. We're just out of all the other gins right now. I am sorry, DCW Clark. I am almost out of Martin Miller's, and I've had no reason to buy gin for a little bit because, of course, I am getting a little bit of this Brando for gratis. So we're going to take a little gin, 1.5 ounces of gin. Probably you're looking for something like a London Dry. I don't know. I've never had the Attitude Adjuster. It's a Simon Difford cocktail. I'm going to assume that it works. I imagine Old Tom won't work. So find a London Dry gin. I think they always do like Heyman's. I think they have a deal. I think Difford's has a deal with Heyman's. Find you a gin you like. Go ahead and grab your Brando or whatever gin you got. 1.5 ounces of some gin. We're going to keep on this adjusting the attitude train. We're going to grab our triple sec. Triple sec, of course, means 3 times dried. Is every triple sec 3 times distilled? I don't know. Triple sec has nothing to do with oranges, but all triple sec is... Oh, I felt like I was doing this here. All triple sec is orange. So this is a clear orange liqueur. If you are drinking something that has a little bit of color to it, you are not drinking triple sec. You are drinking another, you're drinking some Cointreau or a brandy-based orange liqueur. We don't need much of this stuff. 1/2 ounce should just do you fine. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Where can we buy Brando? I don't know. I'm not the salesperson. I'm the brand ambassador. So I will ask where in California you can buy it. You can buy it at a lot of places, from what I understand. But to be fair, I've never seen it anywhere. So, you can buy it anywhere that I am bartending. I will sell you a bottle. All right, next thing we need is a little bit of lime juice. We have been using fresh limes recently because, of course, we needed the fresh limes for different things. But today we are going to be using our lime juice. This is our pseudo juice. We need 1/2 ounce of some. We need 1/2 ounce of some lime juice. There we go. Where does everything go? You think you'll go back here? I don't need you right now. Excellent. All right. This is the base. We're going to float everything else. All right. We're going to float everything else. So let's put a little bit of ice in here. Make it nicey icy. Mucho helado. Give it a little shake. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Run off space on the bar. It's just a whole space nightmare at this point. Okay, we're going to strain, but use some of this cracked ice right in here. So we're going to strain first. Got this very nice pink hue color. If you don't have pink hue, then you don't have Brando, and that is fine. You do not have to have Brando. We're going to use the rest of this ice, a little slush. Right there. Perfect. All right, 3 cool ingredients are going to go in next. I think they're cool, at least. One of them, maybe not the coolest thing of all time, but we are going to be using a second type of orange liqueur. We're going to grab our Grand Gala or Grand Marnier or Grand anything. Any Grand Orange most likely is going to get you where you need to be. What you're looking for is a brandy-based orange liqueur. We just found that they sell very nice bar towels at IKEA that I can hang. They're called Gulvial. There we go. Gulvial. Very nice. I do not have a brand deal with IKEA, just letting you know why I was so excited about that. Grand Kyle would be probably fine. Looked up where to buy Brando on Brando's site, and it doesn't go anywhere. That I'm not a website guy. That's good to know. Well, listen, not every venture has to have a website. Not every place has to sell their product easily so that it can get into the hands of consumers. Not every product has to do that. Yes, Kyle is very orangey, so that's good. We're going to go ahead and put in a splash of an orange, a brandy-based orange liqueur, something like Grand Marnier, Grand Gala, etc. When we say splash, you're looking for a little less than a 1/4 ounce. I'm going to keep turning. There we go. There we go. Got that in there. Put this away. Obviously, at this point, we need to put in our Coca-Cola. 2 ounces of Coca-Cola. Did I say Pepsi? I did not. If I ask, I might be one of the only people that does this. Maybe there are other people. If I go to a restaurant and I want a Coca-Cola and I don't say Coke, I never say Coke. I've made that mistake too many times. Hey, can I get some Coke? Suddenly it shows up. I'm out $45. When I always order a Coca-Cola, if they say, is Pepsi okay? I say it is not. And I will have water or something. I refuse to go down the Pepsi route. Pepsi and Coke are different. Some people say, just put a little salt in your Pepsi and it makes sense. What am I, a chemist? I'm not gonna make chemistry here. Stupid. Go ahead and put in 2 ounces of Coca-Cola. There we go. Looking pretty good here. And the next bit is going to be the funness, the stuff that I thought made this drink seem like the most fun. Boom. Coffee liqueur. Coffee liqueur. You don't need much, just a splash. I think maybe the attitude adjustment is coming more from the caffeine you're throwing into this than anything else. So get your caffeine in here, get your attitude adjusted. We're going to go ahead and put in a 1/4 ounce or maybe a little less, a splash of some coffee liqueur. Use whatever coffee liqueur you want. You want to put in the Kahlua? Kahlua is great. You want to do coffee hearing? Great. You want to do what we were talking about earlier? Galliano, espresso liqueur? Great. All great. You guys are doing great. Honestly, proud of you. Float that right on top. Smells delicious. I am not a coffee drinker, but I do appreciate the way that coffee smells. I'm only not a coffee drinker because I am my nutritionist. I had a nutritionist for a while. Told me that I am a category of person that is, let me get this off me, that is known as a sensitive bear. Whilst I may look big, 6 foot, 220 pounds, that's a big boy. Not huge. I'm not going to play in the NBA at any point. Not going to block Travis Kelce at any point, but big enough. Very, very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. So mostly to foods. I don't like caffeine. So anyway, this is what we got here. This is called the Attitude Adjuster. Whilst it may have a very stupid name, it was stupidly named by a very smart cocktail guy named Simon Difford, or at least on his website. And so we are going to go ahead and drink this. Drink it with a straw, if we can. Coffee Jägermeister was an interesting coffee liqueur. Oh, shoot. I don't think I like that. I had a very good friend who was the brand ambassador to Jägermeister for a while. Nicky Fatuli, his name was. Nick Fatuli. We called him Nicky. Nick Fatuli was a very, very talented bartender, and his job was to get rid of the stigma that Jägermeister had for a while, which was, it's only good in Red Bull and it's gross and it's for shots. It has a long history, kind of like Hennessy kind of has a long history of like being a very well-respected brand, a luxury brand, etc. And then suddenly people are drinking it and they don't really know what they're drinking. They just want to order the Hennessy. They just want to order Jaeger. They don't care what they're drinking. And poor Jaeger, they lost. Well, they brought in Nicky Fatuli. I don't think he's still there. I think that's a very, very tough thing. Sensitive bear, that means something different in the LGBT community. It means the exact same thing in the LGBT community. It's the exact same thing. Big, hairy, really, really sensitive. I don't think there's much of a difference. This right here, don't take the camera off me. The Attitude Adjuster. That is bursting with flavor. This has every flavor. It comes in waves. That's the interesting thing I always found about coffee liqueur in the cocktail, like the Revolver, or anytime you put coffee liqueur in there, it always comes in waves. You can take a couple sips of coffee liqueur and not taste the coffee. Then you take a few more sips and it's all coffee. We put in less than a quarter ounce of coffee liqueur. This is a very, very coffee cocktail. So be warned that coffee liqueur is absolutely an invasive ingredient. Even a little bit can make your whole cocktail taste like coffee. I think it's good. Is my attitude adjusted? Not so far. Not so far. It's a good drink. Interesting. I know somebody that's going to really like it, though. Kyle, do you want this cocktail? Come on in and get it. Kyle's on his way in. Let's see if he can get his act together this time. Last time he was an absolute mess. Let's see, he's just bounding in here like a kangaroo. There you go, pal. They're going to want to know if you like, love, or hate. You can try it right here if you want. I think they like to see the live reaction to it. Kyle's a big fan of coffee. Gets him going. Oh, he's jittery already. That's a glove. Good work. Good work to Simon Difford. He did it. All good? All right, Kyle is now running out of here. He's run back and forth twice now. See you, buddy. Until next time. Yay, Kyle. We love when Kyle loves the drinks. We do love when Kyle loves the drinks. Okay. Let's get into a tiki classic. Kyle is partying tonight. It's going to be very difficult to put him down for a nap later. It's not going to work out. Okay, we are going to get into a tiki classic created at Stephen Crane's restaurants. We've talked about Stephen Crane before. Joseph Stephen Crane, I believe his name was. Changed it from a few times. Big in the Hollywood scene, certainly big in the tiki scene, certainly seemed to have had Don's ear at one point in his life, because when Stephen Crane came back from Hawaii one time, he just sort of had a number of Don recipes ready to go, or at least a lot of Don techniques. So we are going to see some interesting Don techniques in here. And we're going to see them put towards a very, very famous cocktail. A very famous cocktail is the Cuba Libre. Now, when we talk about making a rum and Coke, we are always talking about making a Cuba Libre. Some people say if you put a little lime in it, then it's Cuba Libre. If not, no. Rum and Coke is a Cuba Libre. If you want to put lime in it to make it fancy, that's great. Is the Cuba Libre a tiki drink? No. I would say no. I would say the pina colada is not a tiki drink. Why? I don't know. I just don't feel it. The Cuba Libre is not a tiki drink. So, in that, knowing that, with that information, we now have to find a way to make it a tiki drink. Well, the boys down at the Con Tiki figured that out, all right? This showed up in Bob Esmino's, one of Bob Esmino's unpublished recipe books. You know, Bob Esmino, very famous tiki bartender, worked everywhere. He kept notebooks and notebooks, and eventually Beach Bum Berry got a hold of them and was able to go through these, and I'm sure just copied frantically to get everything down. This showed up in there. In essence, in a very, very real way, this is just a variation of a Cuba Libre. But we do get to see some of Don's influence, some of, I guess in the end, some of Steve Crane's influence. We're going to see a split base. We're going to see stacking sweeteners in there. And we are going to find kind of some interesting big swings at this. So let's make it. It's called the Caribbean. I think we've made the Caribbean on the show. I think we made it years and years ago. I do know that I made it on Mixed Cocktail Hour, but I didn't make it. We had it on a show called Bartend at Home or Mix at Home or something, and I was not allowed to be on that show. They did not care for this whole aesthetic. They wanted Tammy to make the drink, so I brought her this drink and she made it. I do remember that very well. So if you've ever watched Mix at Home, you've seen the Caribbean. I don't think we made it anywhere else, but I do like this drink very much. And I do oftentimes find myself making this drink if I have all the ingredients. So let's get into it. This, again, is going to be a highball. But because it's a tiki highball, we're blending. So we'll put this over here. Get our blender ready. Did I bring the blender in here? I must have. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, gosh. Oh, there it is. Right, could have bit me on the toe if I didn't know any better. We're gonna get our blender going here. We're making everything, putting everything in the blender, even the Coca-Cola. So be very careful with this. If you blend Coca-Cola, it is carbonated, so it will absolutely explode. So be careful with that. Don't do it in your nice white kitchen. Go to your second kitchen. Most houses, I believe, these days have 2 or 3 kitchens, and you know that's always helpful. Do it in the dirtier kitchen so that you're ready to go. This guy right here is a little bit of our lime juice. You can tell because of the eye. We need half an ounce of some lime juice. There we go. We are also going to be putting in half an ounce of some simple syrup. A little simple syrup here. This is our bottle of simple syrup. It's just sugar and water. Don't buy simple syrup. Do not buy simple syrup. Just make it equal parts sugar, water. Half an ounce of simple syrup. More or less at this point, we are just making a daiquiri. This is just the beginnings of a daiquiri. Kind of a weak little daiquiri, but it's a daiquiri nonetheless. Now, if we were to just put in a little bit of Coke and rum, we would have a sort of sweeter version of the Cuba Libre. We are not going to just be doing that, though. We will start over here with some rum. We're going to get in a little bit of Puerto Rican rum, or it's Cuban style rum, but nice and simple. We don't need this to be a huge flavored rum because we're only putting in an ounce of a white rum. Normally a Cuba Libre is white rum. Normally it's Bacardi, so that's good. Paying a little homage to the original. But we're not doing that only. We are splitting this base right in half. Well, we're leaning a little bit towards this one. We're going to find a little bit of some dark Jamaican rum. Now, can you reach for something crazier? You want to get back here and get some Smith & Cross in here? I say absolutely. You want to throw in a little bit of Hamilton, you know, the black strap, whatever you got back there, get that going. We're going to be putting in 1.25 ounces of dark Jamaican rum. Can you absolutely go up to 1.5 ounces? I think so. That's what we call a tiki pour. A little bit of extra. So now we're running into a Cuba Libre. We put a little Coke in here. We're done. We're not doing that though yet. We are going to be putting in a little bit of this. Now, I didn't make my normal ginger syrup today. This is just simple syrup that I boiled some ginger into. Why did I do it like that? Well, that's how they told me to do it. Normally, I will use my ginger syrup. I believe that my ginger syrup with the blended ginger, the macerated ginger going through the blender and the whole thing, I think that would do very well in this. But I don't want to over ginger this. We don't want to over ginger. We just want a hint of ginger. So we're looking for less than 1/4 ounce of some ginger simple syrup. Whew. Smells like ginger. This was not created by Dawn. This is not a cocktail created by Dawn, but it does ask for Dawn's very famous signature on this. We're going to be putting in some Herbstura, that is Herbescent or absinthe, and Angostura bitters in equal parts. We're putting in 4 dashes of each. If you want, you certainly can. You can pre-make your Herbstura. It's equal parts Angostura and absinthe. You can do that. If you got nothing to do, you finish all your other chores, the bathroom's clean, you're all caught up on your work, you've turned in your timesheet, all that stuff, and you just got time to kill, all you do is put them together. It's so much easier just to one of one, one of another. We used to make it here. We don't anymore. It's you know, when I made it, when I was working at bars, and I couldn't trust the bartenders to put in equal parts. They would always say, nobody likes absinthe, so we're gonna put in less absinthe. Well, now you got an overly bittered cocktail. We don't want that. All right, let's put in our Coca-Cola. Not a ton of Coca-Cola going into this one. It is just 1.5 ounces, really just for a little bit of flavor. There we go. So really, in the end, this is a pretty simple cocktail. I mean, it's a Cuba Libre with a couple extra steps. We are going to blend it though, and I do think that's where we can start to find some real fun in this one. So go ahead and grab a little bit of ice right there. Find your topper there. Plug in the blender. That's helpful. There. And I guess we can bring in blend cam. Yes, there it is. All right there. Perfect. Blend cam. Here we go. Put a little bit more ice in. This thing should be a little slush. Should have a little slush to it. So we're going to put a little bit more ice in there, maybe give it a little structure. That seems structure-ish. All right, we got this one. This, strangely enough, will be, put it on soup. Hashtag put it on soup. I believe that the NutriBullet only has soup, so we are always on soup in the NutriBullet. This one, funny enough, we're going to be serving this one in, let's serve it in this one. We're going to give ourselves a cute little glass here with a little handle. We're going to pour our concoction right in here. Hopefully we can get a little stackage. Just a touch of stackage right there. There we go. Something a little bit over the top, something a little bit crazy. If you walked into a tiki bar and you order thinking that you're doing the right thing, you order a rum and coke, or you even know the words Cuba Libre. You walk in, you order something like that, and they say, that's not really a tiki drink, we don't do that. You can say, do you guys make a Caribbean? And they should be able to hand you something very similar to this. Is this worth it all the time? Is it always, if I'm going to have a rum and coke, do I always make it into a Caribbean? Almost never. But if I do have the ingredients, I do like a Caribbean cocktail, or the Caribbean cocktail. I think it's a lovely cocktail. The garnish, of course, is just going to be that it's blended. If you want, you can put like a little lime peel on here. I do not want, so I'm just going to drink it from here. And cheers to you guys. Yeah. It's, in my opinion, perfect. It brings a little bit of class to a, I'm not going to say the Cuba Libre isn't a classy cocktail, but it's an easy cocktail. It's a highball. It's 2 ingredients normally. 3 if you're really out there. If you're really, if they're writing about you in Bartender magazine, you're putting lime juice in here. This one, on the other hand, really comes at it from a different angle. The ginger, while subtle, is very nice. And the rest of it just seems to work. Like a lot of things in bartending over the years that I have found, is it necessary? No. Do I desperately want to get one of those little foam makers that infuses helium into different homemade foams? So I desperately want that. Yeah, I do. I want one of those real bad. When you put it in there and then the foam sort of floats away, and in order to serve it, you have to get a little hook that sits over your glass, and as it starts to bubble, little drips drip into your drink. Do I want one of those? Yes. Will it change the flavor of any cocktail I've ever made? It will not. 0 cocktails will ever be changed by having one of those things. Does it look the coolest though? It does. That's kind of what this thing is. Did we need it? Did we need the Caribbean cocktail if we already had the Cuba Libre? We didn't. But I highly recommend it. It really is a very nice cocktail. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like a grown-up version of a Coca-Cola icy. Remember when you got ices? Did anybody get the Coca-Cola one? I always got the red one. But every once in a while I was like, maybe I will like the Coca-Cola one this time. Always went back to the red one. But this is what that tastes like. It tastes touch like regret. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. We've done it. We crammed all of our Coca-Cola cocktails into one show. Kyle liked one, loved the other. I think this one is spectacular. That's why I made it last, so that Kyle couldn't get his grubby little mitts on it. Kyle, do you want some of this? I'll give you some of this. I'm going to give it to you in a stupid glass, though. There we go. These are very stupid glasses. I don't know why anybody would ever think that this was a great idea for a glass. It just means that You can't put as much in there. It does tilt. Kyle, I will give you a straw. There we go. Coming in, and they're going to want a... Thanks, buddy. You got to open it up. Okay, there you go. They're going to want a rating on this one, Kyle, so let them know what you think. They're going to want a glove like a hate. Your lawyer says yum slushies. Kyle wants one for sure. That is why Kyle got one. I did not want Kim K, Kyle's lawyer. There it is. See you later, buddy. I'll see you out there sometime. Okay. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, Kyle. That's what we got for you guys tonight. We got our Coca-Cola cocktails in there. We were going to make real live Coca-Cola tonight, but I got to work on that recipe. It's okay. My Coca-Cola is just okay. My tonic recipe, top notch. My Coca-Cola recipe, not quite as good. We're gonna have to do a little bit more research on it, but find yourself some nice Mexican Coke, and you can get that going. Aloha, Kim and Tim. Kyle's lawyer is here. Yes, that is why Kyle got special treatment tonight. I cannot be sued. That's what I got for you guys. We are putting together our Tiki Oasis in Arizona. We're putting together the seminar. Hopefully we are able to get in and speak. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I got a couple great ideas, I think. So hopefully we'll get those going. So be on the lookout for that. We will most likely, almost assuredly, be doing a class here on Tuesday. All right. Thursday is, of course, Thanksgiving Day. I drink pretty heavily on Thanksgiving, so I do not think that this is a good time for the drunk show. Maybe one day we will do a drunk show. I don't think that that's going to be a great idea, but it certainly won't be this Thursday. We will have a show on Saturday, most likely. And then in December, I have a few guests coming in. So we're going to end out the year with some guests. I want to talk to some people. We have this great new thing where I can bring people in. I can't bring you guys in right now, but this guy, where I have you guys over this way. You guys are always right there. I can't bring you in right now. Started the whole show over. I didn't set up the room tonight. We will get that going more often from now on, now that we know that it works. But that's what we got. So remember, guys, if you can, just try and remember this. These classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. One way, of course, is financially. The bar runs basically on hopes and dreams. I do have a Patreon, a PayPal, and a Venmo down there. Anything can help. Everything helps. We're just trying to keep the bar sort of steady. We're just trying to keep the bar so that we aren't losing money on the bar. So whatever you can do is super helpful there. If you can't help out that way, another great way to do it is to tell your friends about this show. It's so nice to have so many great friends, people that are new friends from the chat and old friends that meet here in the chat all the time. We are a pretty constant bar, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, where we come together and we are creating, in my opinion, the nicest, most loving, welcoming community on the internet, which is a very difficult thing to do, apparently, but we are doing it with ease. So that is great. Pop on over, tell all your friends. If you can't tell your friends, let's say all your friends are already here. I understand that. The best thing you can do then is show up. We do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That changes if you go east or west of right where I'm standing, but for the most part, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Meet us here, and we will hang the frick out. We will make cocktails. We will talk to. I'm very excited. My guest for not this Saturday but next Saturday has been trying to get on the show for a long time, and I have been denying him because I have not been able to get the tech right. I wanted to have his first thing be right. He is a very, very talented guy, and I'm really looking forward to having him. Oh, Bootopia missed tonight. Well, should we start over? Should we do one more time? Bootopia, we'll go back and watch it. I think it was a pretty good show. I think there were some fun ones. Anyway, yeah, we have some fun stuff coming up. As always, thank you guys so much for showing up. You guys are the reason for this season. We are still in the season of the fall of Fizz, so we're going to still do a couple more Fizzes. We are probably coming low on Fizzes, and we're going to have to figure out a winter schedule. So if you guys have winter stuff you want to do, let's talk about it, or else we can just go back to me making whatever I want. That is... what? Back in Marfa. Good to have you. That's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. As always, I am Dr. Kush. What do we always say here? Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. Oh, God,
are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
We always say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Dang it. Push the wrong thing.
I'm having a party, and you're invited. Bye.
There it is.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona. That's all I am.